Thank you for joining us on this election night. The results are being tabulated for races and proposals throughout mid-Michigan and across the state. We have a number of key contests we're keeping our eyes on. Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer seeks a second term as she runs against Republican challenger Tudor Dixon. Lawyer Matthew DePerno is facing off against Attorney General Dana Nessel. And Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson is squaring off with Christina Caramo.
Meg, we're joined tonight by Andrea LaFontaine. She's the Central Michigan University's Griffin Endowed Chair in American Government and former Republican state representative. Thank you so much for being here. So absentee ballots have become quite popular. It seems a lot of people are voting this way now. But it's election night. We could be in for a long haul because oftentimes those absentee ballots are counted after or it takes longer.
Yes.
So should we expect anything tonight?
So patience are key. I'm sure we'll see some results start to trickle in, but overall, I think we're in for a long haul here. And just being mindful that clerks are the ones working behind the scenes to get these results in. AV ballots, yes, a lot of people do absentee vote because it is convenient, but I also think now that we're slightly coming out of COVID, people are excited to go out and participate in these types of like civic activities again. So I think we'll see a significant amount of in-person voting, but probably still a high number of AV votes.
But if history tells us anything, we shouldn't get too excited early on in the night.
Oh, correct. Don't get too excited early on. It's never over until it's over, and it's not going to be over for a while.
So let's talk about some of the things that you saw that maybe drew people to the polls today. What were some of the things that you were seeing? You
know, people were excited to come out and vote for Proposal 3. That was one that was really resonating with folks, as well as pocketbook issues, right? Gas, groceries, anything, inflation. People are feeling the effects right now of some policy, and they're voting with their feet. They're getting out there and they're voting on how they feel.
Do you think angst is a driving force to get people to the polls?
Angst is huge. I feel like the temperature is really, really high right now, but I think people got to come out, they had their say, and now we'll see what happens with the results.
And let's talk about messaging. Who do you think most effectively got the message out to drive people to the polls?
I think the message has shifted, right? But we deal with that. It's you try to motivate your base to get out there, and then you try to potentially persuade voters. So throughout the whole campaign cycle, it starts with one strategy and then it kind of moves to the other. Both candidates did a good job, but I think it really came down to these last few weeks, and we started to see the race tighten a little bit. So I'm interested to see how it shakes out.
And we're already hearing from some of our counties that turnout has actually been pretty high. Do you think this is normal for a midterm election?
I love to hear that, first off, because I just love when people get out to vote in general. Turnout high in a midterm election, it is not as high as in a presidential year, but I think last year, or the last election that we saw with that high turnout, I think we're feeling some of the residual effects of that, and people feeling like their vote actually does matter and makes a difference.
Andrea, thank you so much. Of course, we'll be checking in with Andrea throughout the night. So stay with TV5. We'll have election results here on air, online, and on our mobile app.